So, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to a scene for Boston by Night, which is an interesting place to be tonight, at least for Alice. Alice has had a bit of a shakeup, bit of a stir up, feeling a little raw, a little emotional. But she's not crying anymore, which is a step. And Alec did get her out to her car and told her to go home, and she nodded and got in the car. And some some memories got stirred up, some thoughts got stirred up, and it may not even really be on purpose that she just kind of autopilots, really. And while home lately has been one particular lively location, um the home of not so long ago, at least it doesn't feel like so long ago, is not the same place. And that's just kind of where she finds herself driving, perhaps not even really thinking about it until she's slowing up around the end of the driveway, kind of looking at the house, doing a bit of a double take upon realizing where exactly she is, and even maybe taking a second to kind of glance down at her keyring, give it a jingle, and realize, she does still have her old house key, doesn't she? And yeah, just kind of eyeballing the place to see if it looks like is it abandoned? Are there people in it?
It's been a good, what about 8, nearly 9 months now. The house itself, gates were open onto the driveway, but the house looks very much the same. Obviously, it's dark. The street lights illuminating the sidewalk before it. But other than that, there's no real lights going on in there. There's no boards on the windows or anything. It just looks quiet.
Yeah, she'll actually probably sit there with her foot on the brake for a good hot minute, waffling at the sidewalk. Not necessarily turning into the driveway, just kind of stopped in front of the house. And she weighs up for a good bit before she finally goes ahead and turns the car off. Just parked right there in front of the house, and yeah, she'll hop out, kind of jingling the keys in her hand nervously as she goes, maybe even swinging by to check the mailbox, kind of stalling that approach to the front door.
So you check the mailbox, it's full.
Yeah, that's at least reassuring. It's not like someone else lives here and would have left all this here. So yeah, she pulls out a lot of mail, a lot of mail, and yeah, kind of awkwardly piles it into her arms, and yeah, she'll finally start that walk up the driveway, kind of looking around, a little edgy, but yeah, goes up to the door and starts jiggling through her keys, looking for the one that'll let her in.
As you walk up the driveway, you can see like the grass itself. It's overgrown to a point. It's not ridiculous. Maybe somebody's been one of the neighbors. Maybe just can't seem to stand the look of the house, go into complete disrepair, and mowing the lawn every so often just to help it through that little bit. But either way, you make it to the front porch, jingling through your keys and such, and eventually you find the right one. Slip it in the door and twist it, and then you hear the resounding click of the lock. The latch goes.
And yeah, she'll unlock it, turn the knob, push the door open, and just kind of stand there looking in for a hot second before she finally goes to cross that threshold. But there's still just a long moment of like, is there really nobody here? Is this really right? Maybe some paranoia, but eventually a step through the doorway.
You take that step in, and it's dark, illuminated by the little light on the outside behind you, kind of just that doorway. Other than that, it's exactly how you remember it. Dark, and even the familiar smells, although slightly lessened, just the fact that it's been stale for about 9 months.
Yeah, she'll step in and almost reflexively at this point, she closes the door behind her and she'll even click the lock a couple times. Um, Again, kind of procrastinating in doing so, but also just reassuring herself when she finally slams it home for like the third time. And just out of habit, will reach out and smack the light switch, perhaps not thinking about the fact that for all she knows, the electric's been unpaid for how long?
And you're exactly right. As you reach over and hit the light switch, it doesn't do anything. You flick it on and off a few times, but there's no power.
Yeah, the lips just kind of firm into a line, and she'll kind of dump all the mail on, everyone has that token table inside the door for exactly this purpose. Though she will rifle through, will perhaps even pull out her phone just so she can like use the flashlight app from that to see if there's anything that looks especially important besides all of the final warning letters from various utility companies.
I mean, it is mail. They all look, you know, white envelopes. Some of them are trimmed with red because, hey, final fucking warning. And bits and pieces, but nothing, they are envelopes. Nothing particularly outstanding.
Is there anything there that might be like, I don't know, from a funeral home or.
Doesn't seem like it.
Huh. Yeah, she'll chew her lip and start wandering everywhere but the kitchen. Things happened in the kitchen. It's not a conscious decision so much as she just doesn't want to go there. So yeah, she'll start wandering the house in the dark with a flashlight app and zero regard to how this is the beginning of every horror movie.
You make your way through to the front room, the living room. It is again just almost exactly how you remember it. Even some of the cups are still on the table. The bit, you look inside, the whatever was in them clearly evaporated by this point, and they're kind of gone to a bit of mold inside. But other than that, it's exactly how you remember it.
And yeah, she will probably, just big plastic tumblers, convenient for holding a lot of tea or water, but not exactly fancy, not especially breakable. And maybe it's just that the undisturbed nature of it is a little too much for her at the moment. She just kind of reaches over and idly smacks one of them off the table, not with any real force, just enough to topple it off, and just kind of keeps walking because I don't know. There's something about it being so untouched that strikes her. And she will wander most of the downstairs, living room, dining room, everywhere but the kitchen, and will finally trot upstairs, perhaps meaning to first glancing into her room to see. I mean, she knows a number of her belongings are with her now. Someone's been here. Things got to be at least a little disturbed, right? Just kind of a glance in to see what state her room's in.
Give me one sec.
Mhm. Take all the sex you need.
Right. So where were you going?
Oh, probably wandering everywhere downstairs except the kitchen where the whole altercation took place. Everywhere but there before she'll deviate, trot upstairs, and take a peek in her room just because she knows some of her things that were once in her room are with her now. So someone has been in there. So it's not more than just kind of a cursory glance to see what condition it's in, and then probably wander into her mom's room.
Well, as you peer your head in, you shine the torch from your phone. You can clearly see somebody's been in here. A few things have been moved around. But the one thing that stands out, it's been cleaned, made, the bed made, everything. Pieces taken from shelves, stuff like that. One thing that does stand out straight away seems it's like a card on the bed, an envelope even.
That does in fact stand out, and she'll kind of squint and just finally edge in and then stride more boldly across the room and go to snag up this envelope, kind of turning it over, looking to see if it's got any kind of writing on it, the envelope itself, before she pulls whatever's in there out.
Well, on the front, it's kind of like a birthday card kind of envelope. So like it's a bright blue, and written on the front of it says Alice.
Yeah, she's gonna flick it open unless it's been actually sealed, at which point there will be tearing involved. But yeah, curiosity is overwhelming. It's getting opened.
And there you go. So you tear it open because it has been sealed. You rip across the top of it and pull out. There is a card. There's a card inside. It's a nice card. It's like a little stuffed bear, old kind of like scratchy artwork. It's old. The what you expect to see. And it says, "Get well soon."
Does it say anything else? Like opened?
Well, so that's just the front of it. When you open it, it says, "To Alice, I wish you all the best of luck in everything that you chase and everything that you do. Best of wishes. Get well soon. Ivy."
She's gonna kind of turn around and just plop her ass on the bed and really look this card over. Look, glance at the envelope. I imagine even if it was old, like that isn't enough months to weather it enough to be significant.
Nope.
So, yeah, she's gonna sit and stare at that for a hot minute.
It's a card.
Yeah, no, it's just what? She will finally, after flipping it open, checking the back and all, she'll tuck it back into the envelope and very carefully tuck it back into the envelope and slide it into one of her back pockets and kind of, pop back up on her feet, giving her head a bit of a shake because that's a little weird. And, take another glance around to see if there's anything else markedly strange or out of place before potentially moving on to her mother's room.
And you look around the room. Give me a perception investigation.
Ooh, die roller. I should be on that. Oh shit, where did my window go? There it is. Boston. That's a decent roll.
So you look around. You search through the shelves and stuff, and you can clearly see somebody's been here. Like 100% been here. what you do actually manage to find with 3 successes. So on one of the shelves, kind of near the top, where I imagine Alice, obviously a horror movie lover, has a set of DVDs or VHS tapes or whatever the fuck.
Probably DVDs.
You, of course, but I have to ask, you spot clearly that there was a gap in between them. A gap that's not normally there. They normally, there's a lot of them. They're shunted across the entire part of this shelf. There's a gap in the middle.
Yeah, she'll start kind of eyeballing, like, using the phone, read the labels, and kind of picking her way across to figure out what movie's missing. Because, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of them, but she keeps them, in order. Ticking along, kind of, okay, well, there's Friday the 13th, there's Hellraiser, there's Jason, there's... What is missing out of the collection?
What is missing is Nightmare on Elm Street.
It's just a knit of the brow. Is there any chance she distinctly remembers that being, like, in the trunk at the house?
You can roll intelligence to see if she remembers that.
Sure. I mean, there's so much stuff there. It's kind of anyone's guess. Why does it keep doing that? I will just pull you over to this window, since you're being that way. So raw intelligence. Oh,
yep,
shit.
you don't remember that being in the trunk. But you notice the gap. You know what's missing. You don't remember it being there. What gets you even more is you kind of peer up onto your tiptoes to look into the shelf a bit more. There's a small little red light.
A red light?
Mm-hmm. Very, very small. Kind of like a dot.
I mean, she can't really see, but if it's such a small light, what are the chances it's anything too big? She'll set her phone, face down on one of the lower shelves so that the light is still pointed up. But we'll reach up and with one hand we'll kind of carefully snag, like, 5 or so of the DVDs to just kind of take a clump of them up, so that with the other hand she can kind of reach up and paw up there to see if she can figure out what the hell is up there.
So you pull out a fistful of DVDs and just kind of give yourself some room. You even hear something like kind of fall as you pull them out, like something not heavy, but kind of like plastic hitting wood, like the small little like kind of thing.
Oh. I mean, she'll still paw up there blindly with the other hand just to kind of see if there's anything else up there besides whatever just fell.
I mean, there's DVDs and shit, but it doesn't fall off the thing, but something fell over on the shelf. You paw up there and you kind of pull it out. And you can see it's like a camcorder.
Like a little handheld camcorder?
Like a camera, video recorder.
Yeah, she'll kind of half paying attention. We'll tuck the DVDs back up there so they don't end up everywhere. And meanwhile, I'll be turning this camcorder around in the other hand, and as soon as she has the other hand free, we'll be like flicking open the little the little view screen and start fiddling with the settings.
It is recording. I can tell you that much. That's where that little red dot's coming from.
Yeah, she'll stop that for the moment and start that rewind with the view screen open so she can kind of watch it. Just kind of squinting at it this whole time. She'll actually probably reach over and turn off her flashlight app as well while she's at it, because no point in wasting the battery. And then, yeah, we'll focus on rewinding through the video.
You rewind. You see yourself coming into the room, sitting down on the bed, blah, 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 blah. And you see For a long time, just an empty room. You begin to times 8, times 16, times 32, times 64, and it's just empty room. But eventually, you kind of the flicker of like the door opening.
Ha! She just smacks the pause button so that she can, because it's easier than ratcheting down the thing rapidly, and starts kind of trying to fiddle, forward and back until she actually gets a view of much of anything.
You hit the pause button a bit delayed, and you kind of fiddle it around a bit. But you see, can't really see exactly just due to the darkness in here, but somebody definitely pokes their head in the room.
Like what size somebody?
It's hard to tell. It is a head. You just see a hand like pushing the door open, and someone poked their head in, and then it shuts again.
Well, shit. She'll probably reel back and watch that a couple times, squinting at it super hard. And then we'll frown at it and go back to rewinding to see if anything else weird happens.
You go back to rewinding, and it comes to a point where you see it ends. You kind of see the flash of like movement and such before it ends.
Aha! She will, from the beginning, hit play, because it's a pretty good chance that whoever tucked it up there got caught on the feed.
Yep, that is exactly what happened. And as you start to play, it starts out kind of like muffled, like you hear speaking in a language you don't actually understand. But it's shuffling around and such. And you see clearly as the camera is lifted up. First, you get like the chest shot of what looks to be a shirt and tie, very loosely worn. Lifting it up, and you see clearly the face of a man with circular glasses and a little flat cap on, kind of lifting the camera into the top and pushing it to the back and just slowly adjusting it and looking down at the bed, looking up, looking down at the bed, looking up at the camera. And he has the DVD in hand, clearly the one that he's moved out the way. You see, he turns his back, and you can, there's no sound on this thing, maybe just to try and keep the sheer fucking battery life going as best as it can. But you see, he does something with the DVD. Places a card down on the bed, adjusts it slightly, kind of in the middle on top of the pillow where you found it. He opens the top drawer underneath where where I imagine the TV is, on a chest of drawers or something like that, and slides the DVD in there. You see he walks out.
And yeah, she takes a hot minute to consider that. I mean, at least it wasn't there before? But what purpose could it possibly serve now? She'll finally click it off, because I imagine if it has... Actually, how much battery does it have?
So you kind of dragged it down, and it has, those power banks you can get?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of got like a big fucking chunky one of those.
Oh. Yeah, she'll go ahead and turn that off entirely. And, sticking her phone back in her pocket so she don't forget it. I mean, it's her room. She knows about where everything is. So she will kind of blind stride her way over to that little dresser or whatever that the TV's on, set the camera down next to her, tuck it kind of behind the TV, and open the drawer, finally flick out her phone again, and this time just, click on the screen, because she only needs a soft glow to see the DVD case.
You can see the DVD case, and it says with a post-it note on it, "For Alice."
Is another kind of face pulled, and she just kind of. There's some juggling involved because opening a DVD case tends to take two hands, but she'll do some juggling, flick it open, and point the screen at it again.
Yeah, there's a DVD in there. Not Nightmare on Elm Street. It's kind of the blank ones. There's no picture on it. It's just a disc.
She's just, for the moment, I mean, there's no electric here, so she's just going to click it shut. And kind of, it takes some doing because chick pants, the pockets are kind of lacking, but she'll shove that into a back pocket as well. It's probably the only thing big enough to accommodate. So it's in there, slid with the card. And yeah, she'll kind of eyeball the drawer for a second, but close it again and pick up the camera, pick up her phone, and kind of amble awkwardly out of her room. Though I imagine the second she touches the knob, there's an immediate flood of regret because she did not lock the door when she came through, and she should have. So there's a brief period of kind of kicking herself because she should have. She really should have. It's important. But yeah, she'll actually, because of that, kind of apprehensively glance out into the hall before moving to her mom's room.
Yeah, it's dark.
Yep.
Very, very little out here.
Yeah, she'll shine the light around and then, yeah, hurry to her mom's old room.
Yeah, and you know, open the door, hook your head in, and it looks exactly how you remember it.
I won't make noises, phone. Bad. Yeah. She'll glance around and honestly, her only real purpose of coming in here is to like probably walk over to where her mom kept, I don't know, a jewelry box or just some personal items and just kind of glances through until something hits her with enough nostalgia that she like that's the thing. That's the thing she wants. Whether it's oh, say a charm bracelet maybe. Various
Yeah,
places her mom's been.
you find like it's not nearly anything finished. You've probably got about 6 charms on it. You find that silver charm bracelet she used to have.
Yeah. No, that'll be the thing where, you know, the second you see it, the second you lay hands on it, it's like, you know, you remember sitting in mom's lap and her telling you about where she got this amazing place she went this one time. So that is the one. She will snag that and actually will probably just absently put it on so that it can't like fall out of her pocket or something. And yeah, as she turns to leave, again kicking herself for forgetting to lock the door as she came in, she'll you know, one last cursory glance around and then kind of trot down the hall and trot down the stairs. And this time, turning off her phone, probably relying on, you know, the big windows in the, you know, the breakfast area of the kitchen to let in whatever street lights are going on. We'll turn off the flashlight and actually dial out because, you know what, Bunny works nights. She might actually answer, assuming she's not literally on the job.
All right, you ring the phone. You ring. It rings and it rings. And you try. You have to. Yeah, it goes to Anne's phone. You try again, but eventually she answers. Hello.
Hey, Bunny, it's Alice. You from work?
Oh, yeah. What's up?
Yeah, this is gonna sound crazy, but I don't have any of the records and stuff with everything that happened with Mom. And I know you technically work for the ambulance company and not for the hospital, but like what should I be doing to get a hold of like that?
Uh, fuck. You can even like hear like the like the oh well that's a question kind of in her voice. I
Sorry.
mean
I know
the
it's out of nowhere.
no it's fine. The insurance company, I guess, if they had insurance,
Yeah.
or you know, like if you know the nurse that was dealing with her, they'll
Uh,
probably help you out. Or the doctor.
yeah. Oh, I mean, you're in and out all the time. Is there any chance you know Ivy? Chick with the blue hair?
Thinks for a minute. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I mean, she was great. She will at this point be kind of peeking anxiously into the kitchen to see if anything has been picked up or if it's literally in like the table tossed disarray it was.
Yep, it's in the disarray it was.
Whew. Leaning back out of that doorway. Yeah. Any idea how I would catch up with her? Do like most places won't tell you someone's work schedule or like anything, but uh, I how do I find her besides just walking in every day? Is there?
Uh, shit. I mean, I think she's one that works weird days. I know that she's doing some other stuff on the side or something. But Ivy. Blue. Think she might be in. I don't know. Maybe
Thanks,
like
buddy.
that's something I don't know. I don't know well enough.
Yeah, that's fair. Have things been okay for you? It's been a while since we really talked at
Oh
all.
yeah, no, it's usual shit.
Usual shit.
Usual shit.
Nothing real crazy.
Oh no.
Oh well, at least there's that, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna. Yeah, I'll check. Thanks, Bunny.
All right. You know, you take care of yourself, Alice.
Yeah, I'm trying. Hopefully, I'll see you back at work soon.
All right.
Yeah, later.
And the
She
phone hangs up.
Yep, she hangs up and she takes a minute, catch her breath, and kind of, leans another look into like, the kitchen and the little dinette area. Everyone has a dining room, but you only ever use that for company. So yeah, just kind of glancing in at the chaos because let's face it, she doesn't really remember clearly.
And you glance in, you can see it. The tables kind of overturned, the chairs are like kicked backwards and all that. The bits and pieces on the ground, smashed plates and all that.
Oh boy. Oh, this is really. Yep, this is a bad idea. And she goes ahead and steps fully into the kitchen and really takes in, like, you know, the pan that was set aside from the stove is still set aside from the stove. You know, everything is left pretty much where it was. So it's just kind of taking in the state of chaos.
And as you step in, it's almost like chaos, yes, but it's almost that the eerie silence of it all, the almost motionless of the dust settled and all that. It's not chaos anymore. Not anymore.
And yes, she'll go over and probably at least, like, right the table, right the chairs, kind of glance around, go for the broom to at least get, like, the bulk of the broken dishes off the floor. She feels like she should.
You do. Yeah, sweeping them up, dumping
Yeah.
them in the trash.
Yeah, just it's not perfect, but it's closer to how it's supposed to be. And yeah, she's finally going to decide she needs to be the fuck out of there and, put the broom away, and she can always come back later. She'll just pause on her way out, thumb through the mail again, looking for anything about uh like property tax or, you know, eviction notices, anything about foreclosures, anything that might risk her having access to the house.
Nope.
Oh, thank God. And yeah, she will promptly snag up that camcorder and get out the door, lock it. Probably a good 6 times, honestly, just to be absolutely sure it is locked. And she's gonna head back to her car and take the card and the DVD out of her pocket, put them in the passenger seat, and kind of pick up the camcorder again and see if it'll stay alive long enough for her to fast forward to the peeking head to see if she can recognize, now that she at least knows who to look for, recognize maybe one of the ghouls.
I mean, the peeking head, yeah, you can recognize. It is the same person who kind of set up the camera.
It's it's Bolo.
Mm-hmm.
How long into the video is that?
Uh, Not very.
Huh. Yeah, she'll go ahead and turn it back off, put it in the passenger seat, and go properly home this time. And once she's parked and gotten her things back up, now that she's in the car and has her bag and whatnot, she'll tuck all the stuff into her bag, hoist it onto her shoulder, lock the car, and head into the house, do the garage.
Now you head into the house, so through the kitchen. There's nobody in the kitchen, but you get the smell of that. Yeah, somebody's been cooking in here recently.
She deviates. Is there anything like she might have hope in her heart that Ivy decided to bake again?
No. no baking stuff anywhere, but there is the smell of like steak or something like that, like a meat kind of smell.
Yep, that'll trip her up. She'll actually pause and like if there's nothing out to eat, we'll probably stick her head in the fridge because she is hungry and this is how she copes.
I mean,
It's
there's
not going to
food in
deal with
there.
anything, but it's how she copes. Yeah, she'll just look for something like I don't know, leftovers or something that she can pick up and preferably something she can eat with her hands.
It's like chocolate bars and shit like that.
Yep, fuck it. She's snagging one of the chocolate bars. It's happening. So that she will be nibbling on something as she walks back out. Um, glancing hopefully over to Polo's chair as she goes.
Yep, he's sat there reading his paper. You see, there's a plate on the table, knife and fork, empty.
And she's gonna, walk over, plunk down on the nearby little couch or whatever the heck is set next to his chair.
You plunk down. He kind of lowers the paper, looks at you. Hello.
Hey, Polo.
Smiles.
Polo, do you remember putting a camera in my room?
Hmm? I know. Camera? Mm-mm. Shakes his head.
You don't remember this, and she will pull the little tiny camcorder out of her out of her bag. You don't remember this?
Look, he, like, uh, holds his hand out to take it. If you'll give it to him.
And I mean, she actually hesitates a second, but yeah, she'll hand it over.
He kind of looks at it, spins it round, looks back at you. No?
Oh, Jesus. Can I see it for a second?
Mm-hmm. And he passes it back.
And if she can she skip to the end of the video?
Yeah.
What's the timer at?
For the beginning of the video,
Like at basically from beginning to end, how long is the video?
9 months.
Holy shit. She gonna look at that battery pack like Jesus.
Yep. There's a reason you couldn't tell whose head it was poking through the door, because there's no night vision or anything like that. It is just, yeah, you get the idea. Like, yeah.
It was a really long time ago, Polo. It's when Ivy and I became family, I think. You know?
Yes.
And you don't remember this?
Shakes his head.
Okay. Can I pee and eat him?
Totally peeing him.
I'm gonna. It's not the worst pool. I have hope in my heart. Hope is serving me reasonably well.
He has no idea what you're talking about.
Oh. Okay. Thanks, Polo.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna go watch a movie.
Okay.
And yeah, she'll tuck the camera back into her bag. And, still nibbling on that chocolate. Actually, not probably nibbling, eating it at a pretty disgraceful rate because she's hungry. We'll trot up the stairs, taking them pretty quick like, and head into her room. And then, and almost immediately, we'll begin rifling around in her bag as she's walking over to where her laptop is stuck, looking for that DVD or CD or whatever it is.
DVD. So you rifle and you pull it out. Did you bring the case with it, or did you just
Oh yeah,
bring the disc?
yeah. It's the only safe way to convey it from point A to B.
So yeah, you got the Nightmare of Elm Street case,
Yeah, just flick it open.
and there's the blank DVD.
Yep, gonna snag that and pop it into the laptop. See what she gets.
Yeah, you get the option to like new media device, what to do.
Oh my god, download the drivers. Just come on, computer.
It's kind of like open files, blah blah blah, you know, that kind of
Yes.
shit.
Open files.
There's a video file on it.
Play this. What program would you like to use? Whatever default is already installed. Oh my god.
Yep, literally. So it comes up on Windows Media Player.
Quality.
Of course, Windows Media Player doesn't run half the shit it wants to run anymore because fuck Windows 10. So it just kind of stays there. So you have to go up onto the internet, download VLC, use no.
She does. She downloads VLC.
VLC runs everything.
It does. It really does.
And you finally, after a good 5-10 minutes fucking around with shit because shit is annoying.
Cussing at the laptop, eating chocolate.
The DVD, it comes on. You can see what looks to be a fairly blank room. Just kind of like the two contrasts, like half the wall up to about like I want to say like rib cage level is like a black tile, and it goes upwards to like a white green. And the camera's pointed at a very almost like a steel table and a very awkward looking steel chair. And it just kind of runs for a couple seconds, nothing happening. You begin to hear footsteps coming in, kind of echoing around the room. And you see walking in front of the camera, you see Ivy. She walks in front of it, sits down at the table and chair, kind of like clasps her hands and kind of leans on her elbows. You see she visibly takes a deep breath, and the look on her face is something a bit, kind of heavy. But you see her visibly taking a deep breath, and she looks up at the camera and smiles quite brightly, how she normally does. And she begins to speak. So, if you've found this, it means you've finally got to where I expected you to be, no matter how long it took. That's fine. That's good. It's good. Finally, hopefully doing things without me trying to just guide you everywhere. So I understand that you've probably got a hell of a lot of questions, because the whole house is a bit weird. I know it's weird. We do our best, the guys, the girls, just to make things better. No, she tightly smiles, kind of looks off to the right a bit, looks back to the camera. So, as you know, things are different now. Permanent knife shifts and all, and it's awkward. it's awkward where to go with these things. I want to say I'm sorry for keeping you in the dark quite a lot. I tell you what you need to know. And if you haven't already, I've lied to you a lot. A whole lot. There's certain things somebody who's new to this doesn't need to know. And now that you've found this, I think it's time you find out this kind of shit. So, yeah. I'm not sure what you already know, but I took care of your mother when she was in hospital. I took care of a lot of people. I still do now, and hopefully will do by the time they found this. I've been fired or something, but I hope not. It's like things always aren't always as they seem. I know that. So, if you have any questions, just it's time to remember the nightmare. Yeah. No matter how hard it is. Well, everything happens for a reason. And she smiles at the camera, and you can see it's kind of a pained smile as the video cuts off.
And she just kind of is left staring at it. As you know, I assume the file just comes to an end and stops itself.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, there's long moments of staring, and finally just kind of, popping out the disc, puts it back in the case, and actually tucks it into the trunk. Puts the card in there. Actually, no. She starts to, and she kind of pauses and tucks it back in her back pocket. And unless the camcorder has some obvious easy USB thingy that would be I don't know, compatible with her phone charger, she'll probably have to settle for putting that in the trunk too, unless she can find something like that.
I mean, you can. It's USB.
Oh, hot shit. Yeah, she'll probably just plug it into the laptop. And just for the moment let it charge, leave it off. And yeah, she's gonna close the screen. She's gonna pop up and she's gonna waffle again for a solid 5 to 10 minutes, honestly. That she just kind of stands there trying to process before she finally heads for the bedroom door and, turns her face towards down the hall to the left and heads for those stairs up.
And as you climb those stairs, making your way up to her room, you stop at the top and look over, and there's no one sat by the door. The door's slightly ajar for the first time you've ever seen it, really. And as you hear the sound of kind of static and the flashing of light coming from the inside the dark room, it is there that this scene will end.